Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Nihal's Notes. I know it's been a while, but I was very busy with my project. It's my last year to get my master degree. So in this video, we are going to see or to continue with Apriori algorithm with an example and the association rule. So let's get started. First, let's get started with the rules of associations extraction. The extraction of association rules consists of decomposing the problem into main sub-tasks. The first is generation of the frequent item sets. The objective is to find all the item sets that satisfy the minimum support threshold. The second is the rule generation. The objective is to extract all the high confidence rules from the frequent item sets of the previous step. These rules are called strong rules. There is a simplest method. Given a frequent item set I, so partition the sets I into all possible combinations of sets x and y equal to I minus x, so that's I equal to x join y. The second is determine the confidence of each rule, x implied y. It is preserved if it satisfies the minimum confidence constraint. So now for finding the frequent item sets, the naive approach brute force. It means enumeration of all item sets and verification of their supports. Exploitation of the a priori property to improve the brute approach strength. Eliminates item sets that cannot be frequent because they have a no frequent subset. The search space is the partially ordered sets. Partially ordered sets can be easily represented by a Hasse diagram. That we are going to see. Now let's see an example about a priori algorithm. Let D be the following transaction base with a minimum support equal to 2. They say apply the a priori algorithm to extract frequent item sets. So you can see the transactional database that we have. We have the TID and items. We have 4 transactions, okay? For each transaction, we have an item set. For example, for the first transaction, we have I1, I3, and I4. Now let's apply the a priori algorithm. So we are going to take one item set at first. Why? We are going to start with an item set that has the size of 1, has one size, okay? So C1, we are going to take one item set. It means we are going to take I1, I2, I3, I4, and I5 and calculate the support of each of them. So we are going to see the support of I1. It means we are going to see in the transactional base. So I1 appears in the first transaction, so 1. It's not appears in the second, it appears in the third. So for I1 we have 2. For I2 we have in the first transaction, in the third, and in the second. So we have 3. For I3 we have in transaction 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3. For I4, we have just in the first transaction. For I5 also, we have in the second, third, and fourth. So now let's check if the support of each of them is greater or equal to the minimum support. Okay? So for the support of I1, it's equal to 2. It's equal to the minimum support. So we can say here that I1 is frequent. I2 has a support equal to 3. So 3 is greater than or equal, greater than 2. So I2 is frequent. I3 also. I5 also, but I4 it's not frequent because I4 has 1 as a support and 1 is minus than 2. Sorry, it's not 1, it's not minus of 2, it's less than 2. And as you see here, we have a set of the frequent item set F1. We have I1 with the support 2, I2 with the support of 3, I3 with support of 3, and I5 with support of 3. Now let's see two item sets. It means an item set that has a size equal to 2. So for F1, we have I1, I2, I3, and I5. Okay, so we are going to do a join between I1, I2, then I1, I3, then I1, I5. So we finished with I1. Let's go to I2. I2 do a join I2 with I3, then I2 with I5. So we are finished with I2. Let's move to I3. So I3 with I5, as you see, and calculate the support of each of them. So let's see the support of I1 and I2. For the first transaction, we don't have I1 and I2. The second also. The third transaction, we have I1 and I2. In the fourth, we don't have. So the support of I1 and I2 is equal to 1. Then for I1 and I3, we have in the transaction number 1 and transaction number 3. So the support is equal to 2. For I1 and I5, we have just in the transaction number 3. For I2 and I3, we have in the transaction number 2, 3. So the support equal to 2. For I2 and I5, we have in the transaction number 2, number 3, and number 4. So the support is equal to 3. For I3 and I5, we have in the transaction 2 and 3. So the support is equal to 2. As you see here, C2, it contains all the item sets that we can extract it from F1. Why from F1, not C1? So, you know the download cluster and the Apriori property. We have already seen it in the previous video. So, if we extract, for example, from C1, not F1, so we can have I1, I4, but I4 it's not frequent. So effectively 100%, I1 and I4 it will not be frequent. Why? Because a subset it's not frequent. So I1 and I4 it will never be frequent. So C2 it contains all the item sets that we can extract it from F1. And it contains I1, I2, I1, I3, I1, I5, I2, I3, I2, I5, I3, I5 with support of each of them. So now let's compare the support of each of them with the minimum support that we have that's equal to 2. So for I1 and I2, we have a support 1. It's less than 2, so it's not frequent. I1, I3, it's frequent. I1, I5, it's not frequent. I2, I3, it's frequent. I2, I5, also it's frequent. And I3, I5, it's also frequent. So F2, it will be contain I1, I3 with a support of 2, I2, I3 with support equal to 2, I2, I5 with support equal to 3, and I3, I5 with support equal to 2. So all of this item set is frequent without I1, I2 and I1, I5 because I1, I2 has a support equal to 1 and I1, I5 has a support that's equal to 1. It's not frequent. So for C3, for 3 item sets, we can do a join between I1, I3, and I2, I3. Why? Because in the first we have I3, and the second we have I3. So it gives us I1, I2, I3. Then for I1, I3 with I2, I5 we cannot, I3, I5. We have I3, I3, so it will give us I1, I3, and I5. For I2, I3, we can join with I2, I5, so it gives us I2, I3, and I5. Okay? Then also for I2, I3, and I3, I5, it also gives us I2, I3, I5. So for I1, I2, and I3, support it will be equal to I1, it will be equal to 1. It appears in the transaction 3. For I1, I3, and I5, it also appears in the transaction 3. For I2, I3, and I5, it appears in the transaction 3 and 2. So I2, I3, I5 has a support equal to 2. Well, I1, I2, I3, and I1, I3, I5 has a support equal to 1. It means that it's not frequent. So F3, it will contain just I2, I3, and 5 with the support equal to 2 because their support is greater or it's equal to a minimum support. So the solution is F1 join F2 join F3. Now let's use another transaction database that contains 10 transactions. We are going to see a Hasse diagram and Apriori algorithm. We are going to extract the frequent item set with using a Hasse diagram. So it will be more visible. It's not complicated to use it. It's so simple. So we have for each level a size of item sets. For example, for the first level, we have A, B, C, D, and A. One item set. So if we calculate the support of each of these items, for A, for example, it will give us 7. For B, C, D, and A, it will be greater than 3. Then we can say that A, B, C, D, and A, it's frequent. So it's why we colored. For the second level, we are going to take 2 item sets. It means A with B, do a join with A and B, then A with C, then A with D, then A with I. It's the same for others. It means B with C, then B with D, then B with A. All the possibilities that we can have from one item set. Okay? So in the second level, also we are going to calculate all the support of each item sets. Okay? So AB, for example, and AC and AD for each of them. When we calculate the supports, we are going to see that AC, AD, AI, BC, CD, CI, DI, it will be frequent. Why? So it's so simple because their supports, it will be equal or greater than the support minimum that's equals to 3. Then let's move to the level 3. It means 3 item sets. We are going to do the same. So we are going to take AB and do a join with all. That's contain a prefix A. So AB, we can do AB join with AC, AB join with AD, and AB join with AI. Okay? So it gives us ABC, ABD, ABI. Then an ACD, an ACI, and ADI. For BC, BD, and BI, it will give us BCD, BCI, BDI. Then for CD and CI, it gives us CDI. Okay? And DI. Then for this level, we are also going to calculate the support of each of these item sets. Okay? When we calculate it, we are going to see it's ACD and ACI and ADI, their supports, it will be greater than the support minimum that's equal to 3. So this 3, it will be frequent. For the fourth level, we are going to do a join between ABC and ABD. But why? Because they have the same prefix AB. So we can do a join between them. ABC and ABD, it will give us ABCD. Then, for example, ABC and ABI, it will give us ABCI. In this level, also we are going to calculate the support of each of them. And their all supports, it will be less than 3, the support minimum. So there is no frequent item set that has a size 4 in the level 4. For 5 item sets, we are going to have ABCDI. Why? Because in the previous level, in the level 4, we have ABCD and ABCI. We have a prefix ABC, so we can do a join. It gives us ABCDI. Okay, and we are going to calculate ABCDI, the support. So it will be less than the support minimum that's equal to 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content.